And welcome to a Greater You show here on IntellectualRadio.com and iHeartStation. And I'm your host, Dr. Anthony L. Gantt, here for another show to help you be better as a person and do better as a person. Again, this is IntellectualRadio.com. We are the station that feeds your brain. And what we are, wherever you hear your podcast or see your podcast, you can actually find us there. Spreaker. Again, we are an iHeartStation. You can go to YouTube. And if you aren't on YouTube or if you're listening right now, if you get the opportunity and go to IntellectualRadio.com, you can also hit on YouTube and hit the subscribe button, as well as hit the bell so you can be notified of all the shows we have going on here. We have shows going on here Sunday through Saturday, mornings, afternoons, evenings. A lot of great shows, a lot of great hosts. And keep in mind, all of our shows are recorded. So if you miss a show, you can always go back. If you know the name of the show or know the host of the show, you can just type that in and you can find that particular show. And you can look at all those shows from that host, or all the shows for that day or for that week. You can binge watch anything you want on that we have here available at IntellectualRadio.com. Appreciate you doing that. And if you have a friend, you can also let them know about it, and they can also do the same thing I just instructed you on to be a part of actually what we have going on here. So we got a lot of great shows here. So before I get started, I'm going to promote someone. And if you'd like to get promoted on any of the shows that I have going on here at IntellectualRadio.com, you can definitely get in touch with me at fullerpurposemedia@gmail.com. That's fullerpurposemedia@gmail.com. So tonight, this show, I'm going to promote Ms. Pamela Denise. And whether you are a first-time home buyer, an investor looking to build your portfolio, or you're purchasing your dream home, Pamela Denise at Exception Realty is who you need to call. She has 24 years of experience and a team that is ready, willing, and very capable to assist in all of your real estate needs. You will also get a free consultation by mentioning you heard about Ms. Pamela Denise on a Greater You show here on IntellectualRadio.com and our station with the host, Dr. Anthony L. Gantt. For more information, contact Ms. Pamela Denise at 773-447-8546. That's 773-447-8546. Or info@keepitmoving.us. That's info at KEEP as in Paul, IT as in Tom, MOV as in Victor, ING as in great. Info@keepitmoving.us, and you can contact that way. So anything you want to do or want to try to enhance in the real estate side in regards to buying property, selling property, might want to buy a smaller condo if you leave it and sell a house that you have, or you may want to upgrade and buy a house from a condo. You might want to buy a 2 to 4 unit, or you might want to buy a 6 to 12 unit, or 20 units or better. You might want to buy vacant land or new construction. So she can help you with a lot of different things in that area, and also commercial. So she can help you with commercial property too. So again, this is the let's get started. This is again the Greater You show, and this is a self-help show, a self-help class, a self-help coaching session, and a self-help book club, all wrapped into one. So the purpose of the show is to help you become better at being a better person, to help you become better at doing things better in your life. So this is what this show is all about. Hopefully you take some notes and you look at it over and over again, because the show is recorded, so you can look at it as often as you like. So we are in a series, and if you're new to me and new to IntellectualRadio.com, I always do a recap of what we have went over thus far, so you can be caught up to speed to where we are today. So we are teaching on this session is how to be in how to be in healthy relationships. This is part 2. And it's based on the book that I've written called It's Great, 7 Pillars to a Healthy Relationship. So we're going through the book in different sections. And last session, we came from lesson 1 from the book, and we talked about being in a great relationship. And a lot of times we don't say our relationship is good or bad or great. We say it's okay, or we're just kind of moving through it. And we talked about what a relationship is, and the word relationship is the root word has the root word relate. And relating to Latin means re means back and again, and late, late, means to carry or to bear. So when you are in a relationship, you are carrying someone back and again, and they're carrying you. So not carrying you physically, but they're carrying you emotionally. They're carrying you mentally, and you're carrying them emotionally, and you're carrying them mentally as well. So a question you need to ask yourself is, what is it that you're giving people, or giving the person that you're in a relationship with? What are you giving them to carry away with them when they're not with you? And what are you carrying away with them when you're not with them? So carrying away from them when you're not with them, because we're all carrying something. This is why we can be upset with someone. They be 50 miles away and we still cursing them out and, sending them bad texts and all type of things because we're mad at them. And because we have carried them away with us when we left them. And that's the same reason why we can say, oh, I love you. You're the best thing that ever happened to me. And we can send a text or make a call, and they're 50 miles away from us because we have carried them away with us when we aren't with them. So you're carrying people whether you want to or not, and they're carrying you whether they want to or not, because every time we get into relationships with people, we're carrying them. And so you have to understand that that's part of being in a relationship. So we want to make sure we're in a healthy relationship. We also discuss how being in a relationship, the root word to the word healthy or health is the four letters in the word health is heal. So in actuality, you and I are bringing two things to every relationship that we're in. We're bringing a healing and we're bringing a hurt. Now, if you're not focused on being a healthy person, then most of the things you're going to bring to a relationship are hurt. Now, a lot of times you said what you bring into a relationship, many people say, well, I'm bringing in my good credit. I'm bringing in my looks. I'm bringing in my big house. I'm bringing in my college degree. I'm bringing in all the money I have. I'm bringing in my small waistline. Bringing in the people I know, the family I was raised in, my religion. And those things have their place. You can have those things. You still bringing something to the relationship. So you need to ask yourself, what are you bringing to this relationship? So are you bringing a healing, or are you really just bringing in a hurt? And if you're not focused on being a healthy person, then you're not going to bring in much healing, but you will bring in a lot of hurt. So that's pretty much kind of summing up some of the things that we spoke on last week. We spoke on quite a bit. So we're going to come from lesson 5 from the book, and we're going to talk about how to be in functional and dysfunctional relationships. Because a lot of times when we're not in healthy relationships, we're most likely in dysfunctional relationships. Or a dysfunctional relationship is nothing but a relationship that's malfunctioning, right? So it's not functioning well, and it's not functioning properly. And most things don't function properly or well when they're unhealthy. So keep this in mind. When we are in relationship with people, here's the unique thing. We have chosen them to be in relationship with us, and they have chosen us to be in relationship with them. Very few of us are forced to be in relationships with people. I know some cultures, they marry you off at 2 years old, right? This is who you gonna marry when you get 20. But in most cases, you have chosen the people you have been in a relationship with. And this is when I realized I was real good at being in unhealthy relationships, because the common denominator to all my unhealthy relationships was me. Even though the faces and the names of the people may have changed, I was the person that was the common denominator. So you can't say a bunch of bad things. Well, you can. All these people, all these women are bad. All these men are bad. You can say all that, but the common denominator is you. So if you saying he or she is the worst thing, and he or she is the worst thing, and all these women and all these men are the worst things that's ever happened to me, then what is that saying about you? Because you are the common denominator in this thing. So you can't change others, but you can change you. And now, if you're not changing you, you would just continuously go through life doing the same thing with different people, because they just have different faces, different names, different shapes, different heights, different colors, different ages. But it'd be the same old drama because of being an unhealthy person. And like I said the last session, that one thing that's common with unhealthy relationships is drama. It's always drama. It's drama on Mondays and it's drama on Fridays. There's drama in the morning, there's drama in the evening, because unhealthy relationships carry this one thing all the time, and that's drama. And healthy relationships carry this one thing all the time, which is peace. And what happens is, if we have been in so many unhealthy relationships, if we get into a peaceful relationship, we almost get nervous. Something got to go wrong. The hammer got to fall, because something bad got to happen, because this is just too peaceful. This has been going on real good for a whole day. And, I'm not used to all that. I mean, we've been peaceful for a whole day. Oh, something about to happen bad. I know something about to happen bad. Right? Because I'm not used to this because of all the unhealthy relationships I've been in. And when I look back at my own life at one time back in the past, I couldn't count on one hand of five of couples, because it didn't include me, but I couldn't count on one hand 5 couples I seen that was in healthy relationships. Now, I didn't say I couldn't count on one hand 5 people or 5 couples I knew that had been married 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years. There's a bunch of people I knew that, but I also knew that people were unhealthy. You can be married and still be in an unhealthy relationship. You can be engaged and still be in an unhealthy relationship. You can be boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever you want to call it, and still be in an unhealthy relationship. Because if you're not a healthy person, you don't have a chance to be in a healthy relationship. You have 100% chance to be in an unhealthy relationship by being an unhealthy person. You got about a 50% chance of being in a healthy relationship by being in a relationship with an unhealthy person. So in order to be in a healthy relationship, you have to be a healthy person. And then the other person that you're in a relationship has to be a healthy person too. This has to be a priority for both of you all in order to be in a healthy relationship. So what ends up happening a lot of times, a lot of us, we're looking for the perfect person and instead of looking for a healthy person. And the reason why this happens a lot, we don't know what a healthy person look like because we spent most of our life being an unhealthy person, being in unhealthy relationships. Mom and daddy were unhealthy. Grandma and granddaddy was unhealthy. Uncle was unhealthy. People across the street was unhealthy. People next door. So when we're raised, we don't see a lot of healthy relationships. So we don't even know how to measure something up or gauge whether or not something is healthy or not because we haven't seen very many of them. Now, we can't go to our mom and dad and say, you know what? When I was growing up, I realized y'all unhealthy. We can't say stuff like that to mom and dad because, we don't feel like we want to judge them and all that stuff, right? And you're not judging them, but you just haven't seen unhealthy. You haven't just seen healthy relationships. So here we go through life, and then a person strolls into our life that's a healthy person, and we're looking at them suspicious. What they want from us, what they're trying to get out of us, because we're not used to people being healthy around us. We need some drama going on. You got to have, 3 boyfriends or 5 girlfriends. You gotta have some aliases, names, because that's what I'm used to. That's what I'm used to. What you trying to get out of me? You trying to get my money, trying to get my sex, because all my life I've been rolling around with all these unhealthy relationships. So it got to be something up with you being a healthy person. Oh, my fault. So it had to be something up with you for one to be a healthy person. So because I'm not healthy, I don't see health when it comes into my life, but I definitely see unhealthy because I said, there she is. That's my match right there. Because I need my drama, right? So years ago, when I realized that this is how I was behaving, and I had to realize I had to become healthy. I had to become a healthy person because most of the things that I was getting involved with was dysfunctional relationships. Now, this is just not an intimate relationship with another person. Sometimes we are in dysfunctional relationships with friends. We're in dysfunctional relationships with relatives. We're in dysfunctional relationships with co-workers. We're in all these dysfunctional relationships because that's what we're used to. We're used to dysfunction. We're used to things not functioning well with other people. And usually this becomes because of the fact that we are unhealthy people ourselves. So when we are unhealthy people ourselves, we need to realize that we need to know the difference between being a repair person or a sabotage person. Now, sabotager is not a word, but in my world it is. Okay. So a sabotager is a person that sabotages things or tear things up, burn them up, knock them down. And they're doing this because they're going to get you before you get me. This is their mentality. I'm going to get over on you before you get over on me. And this is when we know that we're being directed by our hurts and we're not being directed by our healing. Somebody hurt you 3 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. So now everybody going to get hurt and I'm going to get all I can get out of them before they get all they can get out of me. Right. And this is a bad way to be. But see, a lot of us, many of us, not everybody, but many of us want to be in relationships with someone else. And that's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. The problem is that we don't know how to get in healthy relationships. So what we do is get into a relationship and we would stay with people or be in relationships with people that aren't good for us. They're not healthy people. But you know what? This is the way we are when we're unhealthy. I'd rather be in this unhealthy relationship with your raggedy butt instead of being alone. Because I don't want to be alone. Ooh, no, I don't want to be by myself. No. Right? But I'll be with you cursing me out. I'll be with you beating me up. I will be with you disrespecting me, because all I can say now, I got somebody. And that's all I want to say is that I have somebody. But see, the thing is, I don't want to be alone and I don't want to get healthy. Instead of working on being a healthy person, I'm sitting around trying to be with an unhealthy person, being abused the whole time. And at the end of the day, I end up being worse off than I was before I met them, right? Because of the fact that I'm afraid to be alone. Now, see, here's the thing. I'm afraid to be with myself, afraid to deal with myself, and afraid to be a person that love myself, but then I'm expect somebody else to do that for me. And that doesn't make any sense. So I don't want to be with me, but I want you to be with me. So why should somebody else want to be with me if I don't want to be with me? But when you become healthier, then you can see healthy people from a mile away. And then when you become healthier, you'll be able to see unhealthy people from a mile away too, right? So now you won't step into unhealthy relationships again because healthy people will take your hurts away and unhealthy people will take your health away. This is why a lot of people, after they get out of unhealthy relationships, they seem like they can't get back on their feet. Not financially. I'm not talking about things like that. Just emotionally. They just seem like they just meandering through life and just trying to figure it out. And it's been 3 or 4 or 5 years. And, they're kicking rocks that's not even there. So I've been down that street before. So what that guy doing? He kicking rocks. I'm kicking rocks. There's no rocks down there. But see, I'm all messed up, see? Because I've been in some unhealthy relationships, right? So I'm walking around kicking rocks. They say, there's no rocks down there, man. What are you doing? Because that's what happened when you get in unhealthy relationships. You're doing things trying to get back on your feet because you're so damaged now. You're so hurt. And so when you're so hurt, then guess what you go out and do? Hurt people. So now you get into another relationship and you hurt and damage them. They hurt and damage you. And then you just kind of have this string of things going on. But then at the same time, you get into a healthy relationship then because just like hurt people, heal people. So if you want to get healed and be in a healthy relationship, you need to actually work on being healthy. And it had to be a priority for you as well. Now, here's something that I realized years ago for myself, because when I first came into this knowledge for myself, I found that I was going through another serious, going through a divorce. And this was time too. Like, man, how you in two divorce? You must be terrible. What's wrong with you, man? Right? And trying to figure out what in the world is going on. Right? What am I doing? See, because I'm thinking that everything was about making sure you have all this money and making sure you pay all this, making sure you do all this protection, all this stuff, right? And what ended up happening is that if you're not healthy, you can have all the money you want and still be in an unhealthy relationship. You can have all the stuff, quote unquote, that's lined up and still be in an unhealthy relationship. You can do all the functions. This person wash the dishes. This person cook. This person clean the house. This person take care of the kids. You can do all that stuff and still be an unhealthy person, be in an unhealthy relationship. So what I realized is that we all have functions in the relationship. And when you say functions, a lot of times people think functions like cooking, cleaning, and all that stuff. That's not where I'm going with this, right? You have functions. And what happens is all of us, you and I, and anytime we're in a relationship, it's 3 in 1. You have 3 things, 3 hats that you're wearing all the time in the relationship. And so is the other person. They have 3 hats that they're wearing all the time. So we need to know what the 3 hats are so that we'll make sure that we're functioning properly. And what I found out, even for myself, I wasn't functioning properly in none of the 3 very well, and maybe at best at one of the 3 on a real good day, right? So what are the 3 areas? So you wear these 3 hats all the time. One hat that you wear is a doctor, right? Another hat that you wear is a nurse, and another hat that you wear is a patient. Now, when I say that, you think, well, doctor, nurse, man, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nurse, all these things. So let's look at the functions and see once I break down the functions, and see can we apply it to a relationship and see does it make sense. So a doctor is a person that does surgeries, write prescriptions, do diagnosis, and things of that nature, right? Every person need a doctor in their life. They need a person that will write prescriptions, be able to diagnose issues and problems that we all have or that you may have. You need a doctor in your life. But at the same time, you also need a nurse. And a nurse is someone that nurtures people and nurtures you back to health. But at the same time, you have to realize you're also a patient. So you are a patient and you have a patient in the relationship. So if you don't know that you're a doctor nurse, then you won't be good with the patient that you have, which is the person you're in a relationship with. And then if they don't know that they're a doctor and a nurse, they won't be good with the patient that you are and that you're in the relationship with them. So this is what I was pretty good at. Excuse me. I was pretty good at being a doctor, right? Not because I got a degree in this stuff, but I mean, I was good at being a doctor. I knew how to write prescriptions per se, like on life. I knew how to analyze and diagnose situations and problems because, see, I'm a doctor, see? I know how to do surgeries if needed. I'll write a prescription, say, I'll get back with you in the morning, get back with you next week, see how this thing went down with this prescription, right? But I was very bad at being a nurse. I didn't nurture well, right? I didn't know how to nurture you back to health. What good is giving someone a prescription and then don't nurture them back to health? So here I'm wondering, like, hey, what's up? Why you didn't use the script? Why you still acting like this? What's wrong? What's wrong? Right? Because I didn't do a good job at nurturing people back to health, right? So at the same time, I wasn't finding people that was good doctors or nurses for me. So I had to figure out everything in my head. I had to figure out I had to figure it all out. I had to be my own doctor, right? Because I couldn't find a good doctor. Because people don't know that they're a doctor too, right? They don't know they're a nurse too. And here's something else. I didn't realize all the time that I was a patient, right? And I didn't realize the other person was a patient either. So here's something for you. When you realize that you have a patient in life, you must realize at the same time you must have patience for your patient. You must, and the reason what I'm saying is that you must have a level of sensitivity and empathy for the person that you're in a relationship with, because you're gonna have patience with them, because they are damaged just like you are damaged. They may not be damaged the exact same way, but keep in mind they probably been in some unhealthy relationships before they met you. That doesn't mean that they're bad or the people they were in relationships were bad, but just say, for instance, you meet somebody at 40 years old, right? And they've been in from 20 years old to 40 years old. We just give them 10 relationships. Now, some of y'all know, oh, that's a whole lot. Well, whatever, right? But we're just going to go with 10, right? They every 2 years they was in a relationship. So let's say, for instance, because most of us don't know what healthy people look like, so the majority of the times we get in a relationship with unhealthy people who are damaged people, who are hurt people, so they're hurting us. So here you meet them and you number 11. So they have 20 years of experience at being hurt and damaged and unhealthy, and all these different things happen, right? Again, they're not mad at the world, not bitter or anything like that. They could be, but they've been hurt. So when they come into your life, they are damaged. So you got to be patient with your patient, because you just got a patient that you need to help get healed, help diagnose some things, and also at the same time help nurture some things back to health. Because here's the reality. If people don't get healed, they can't be at their best. And that means that the longer you stay hurt, the longer I stay hurt, and we're in relationships, we only get worse. We don't get better. See, if you don't get healed, just look at your physical body. If you go into and have a physical illness, and if you don't get healed from the physical illness, you don't get better, you get worse. You couldn't stand up long at first. Now you can't even stand up 5 seconds. Now you can't stand up, can't even put your legs out the bed. Now you can't even move your legs, because if you don't get healed, then you're going to get worse. Well, that means when you meet this person at 40 years old, they never worked on becoming a healthy person or getting healed. You never worked on becoming a healthy person, get healed. So by the time you and I meet at 40, we're two unhealthy people that can barely walk, so to speak, emotionally and mentally. So you have to realize, wait a minute, I have to become a healthy person, because I'm going to give something away, because they're going to carry something away with me when I'm not with them. So if I become healthy, then that means I can help them carry some health with them when they're not with me. If they become healthy, they can help me. I end up carrying some health with them when they're not with me, meaning that I can get better because they're in my life, not worse because they're in my life. Now, see, this is a whole different paradigm for a lot of us, because we don't look at it that way. We don't look at, say, hey, what's my healing that I have in me that I can give to someone else? And what type of healing do they have in them that they can give to me? Because I've been damaged. Not only have I been hurt, I hurt some people. So I know how to operate as a hurt person by hurting people, and also putting myself in positions to be hurt by people. So this is why you must realize that you are a repair person. This is why I keep saying that you have to become a healthy person, and realize that you have to become a healed person, because HEAL is the root word to the word health. You can't get health unless you get healed. And if you're not focusing on being a healed person, then that means you won't be a healthy person, meaning that you can't be in a healthy relationship. The moment you start focusing on being a healed person, you have just stepped into being a healthy person, putting you in position to be in a healthy relationship. And the other person has to do the same. This means that now you're giving healing to the other person, and the other person is giving healing to you. Because remember, you're going to carry something away with you when you're not with them. They're going to carry something away with them when they're not with you. So here's the reality. I know we all don't get married to the people that we actually date or go out with or whatever. And sometimes we do get married, right? However, here's the reality. Every person that you get in a relationship with, this is what they're saying, what you're saying. Will you carry me? And they're saying the same thing to you. Will you carry me? Not will you marry me? Will you carry me? Because you're going to carry them even if you don't marry them. So this is why you got to get in a healthy relationship and have to be a healthy person so you can help people get better and become better after being with you, not become worse after being with you. And that's why you have to make sure people are healthy so you can become better after being with them, not worse after being with them. And unfortunately, most of us become worse after being with the people that we've been with. So we know that we have 3 in 1. For instance, I'm a dad. I'm also a brother, and I'm also a child, a son to someone, right? And even though every day I wear those 3 hats, whether I realize it or not. Now, as a father, I'm a little bit different. My responsibilities are different as a parent than they are as a sibling. And they're different as a sibling as they are as a child or son, right? Now, as a parent, when my children were younger, most of the things when you're a parent, you tell children what to do. Hey, get that, get over here, move that, put that up, go to bed, right? You tell them what to do. Well, I can't act like that. I mean, that only works when they're little now. When they get bigger, you can't do the same thing. But when they're little, you're giving instructions, you're giving orders all the time, right? But when they get bigger, or when you go to your siblings, or when I go to my siblings, I can't be telling them what to do. Hey, pick that up, get over there, do that, right? But that's how I act as a father. But I can't act that same way as a brother. And then I can't act that same way as a child, right? I can't, or a son. I can't say, hey, parent, get over there, pick that up, move that over there. Do it. I can't do all that, right? Because I'm wearing a different hat, even though I wear these hats every single day. Well, same thing when you're in a relationship. Every day you're wearing these hats as a doctor, a nurse, and a patient. Every day, whether you realize you're doing this or not, you are wearing these hats every day of the week. And when you understand that, now you know that you have to focus on being healthy. So here's something for you. Because health starts at this place right here. I call it A plus F equal health. Now, let me explain that. The A is for apologizing, and the F is for forgiving. You can always see how healthy you are based on how well you can apologize and based on how well you can forgive. You show me a person that can't apologize well, I guarantee you that same person doesn't forgive very well either. Because a person that doesn't forgive is usually the same person that won't apologize. A person that won't apologize think they're right about everything. So their reason is, the reason why I don't have to apologize, because I'm always right. So why would I have to apologize? Because I'm always right. And you always wrong, and you always wrong, and all y'all always wrong because I'm always right. And that's not true. You're not always right. None of us are always right. And a lot of times, because we're damaged people, we hurt people a lot of times unintentionally. We don't hurt them on purpose. Now, some people do set out to hurt people on purpose, but very few of the things that you hurt somebody. It's like if you ever been to a movie theater or went to a concert or something like that, and you're sitting in a certain part of the row and someone need to move through, or they need to go to the restroom or go, whatever, and they need to move past you. And occasionally, sometime on accident, unintentionally, someone may step on your toe, step on your shoe, right? Bump your knee, something like that, right? Now, they didn't do that intentionally. They did it unintentionally on accident because they're trying to move through. Most of the times when we hurt people in relationships, most of the time it's unintentional. However, because it was unintentional, we don't feel we need to apologize. This is when we're unhealthy. Whether you step on my toe unintentionally or you kick my foot on purpose, you still need to apologize for what you did to me. Or I need to apologize for what I did to you. But if you're not a healthy person, unhealthy people aren't good at apologizing. If they do apologize, they apologize by justifying. I wouldn't have hit you in the face if you'd have cooked my dinner by 6 o'clock. Isn't it wrong to be hitting people in the face? Well, see, I wouldn't have ran you over with the car if you wasn't in front of it. What do you mean? I was on the sidewalk when you ran me over, but you was in front of the car. See, if you wasn't in front of the car, I wouldn't have hit you. See, this is how a lot of people that's unhealthy, they apologize by justification. See, I wouldn't have done all those bad things to you. See, I wouldn't have cheated on you if you didn't do this to me. I wouldn't have spent all the money up if you wouldn't have spent the money over there on, or you would have cooked me dinner right. See, all these other things. And really, we don't want to admit that we're wrong. And unhealthy people, it's hard for them to admit, I was wrong. And it's hard for them to apologize. Now, here on the flip side, it's hard for them to forgive. You did something 10 years ago, one time. Boy, they'll let you know for 10 straight years in a row. One time you miscalculated the money and had $5 less. And they'll tell you every time you step out the house, come back with my $5. Remember what you did like in 1989. 1989? Man, what's going on? It's 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago. What are you talking about? Because they don't want to forgive the wrong that was done by me, or the wrong that was done by you, or you don't want to forgive the wrong that was done by somebody. So now you're putting yourself in the position, I can't forgive them because you're unhealthy. And see, again, I'm a sabotager. And if I'm a sabotager, I'm going to tear this thing up before it get bad. I'm going to rip it up, gash it up. I'm going to lacerate it, cut it up. I'm going to trash it. I'm going to hack it. That's what I'm going to do, because I'm going to hurt you before you hurt me. Now, wouldn't it be different if I'm going to heal you before you heal me? But only healthy people think like that. So if you're not thinking as a healthy person, you're not thinking of ways to heal the person you're in a relationship with. But when you are a healthy person, you're thinking of ways to help heal the person you're in a relationship with. And this means that if both of you all were trying to give healing to one another, guess what would end up happening? Both people would get healed by one another. And would that be a nice way to live? So in actuality, this means you are a medicine person. Now, you can be medicine or you can be poison. Now, if you're unhealthy, you poison. Yeah, you poison. That's what you are, right? And poison has one goal. Anytime you deal with poison, it has one goal. And that goal is to kill. That's what poison does. It does it every day of the week and twice on Sundays if you let it, right? Poison does one thing, it's to kill. And when you are a poisonous person, you're stepping into relationships and you're killing the health in another person. And you're doing it intentionally because you're unhealthy. And you're not even thinking about it again, because I'm gonna hurt you before you hurt me. And see, because I'm mad at what the last one did, or the last 5 did, or the last 10 did. And you know what? You gonna pay for all that happened to me for the last 10 years. Instead of saying, I remember when I was getting myself as a healthier person, because now you're gun shy, right? Because these 3 things happened to you with the last person. That didn't happen good. And these 4 things happened to you with the person before them. So I made up my mind that this person, I'm going to love them more than I love the last person. And I started operating my life that way. I'm going to do more health, because see, when you become healthy, well, I should put it like this. When you're unhealthy and you're operating by your hurt. See, when you're unhealthy, you operate by your hurt, not your healing. So what happens is we end up doing less for the next person than we did for the last person, because we're operating by our hurt and we're not operating by our healing. So when you start operating by your healing, what ends up happening, the next person, you do more healing, not trying to, do anything to show off to the last person, but you are healed. You are more of a healed person. So you're going to give more healing away than you did the last time, the person you were with. So the person you with in the present, if you're a healthy person now, is going to benefit more than the person you was with in the past. Not because the person in the past was bad, you have just gotten healthier. Now, see, either you getting healthier or you getting more unhealthier. And if you're getting unhealthier, you are becoming sicker. And then this is why people get sick of you, right? Because you becoming so sick, and all you are just sick, and you just spewing out all this sickness, right? And then you have the audacity to say, see, all these people are bad. All of them bad. All of them no good. All of them, all the ones that 6 feet tall, bad. All ones 5 feet tall, but you just got all your criteria on why all of them bad. All of them bad if they're over 40. All of them bad if they're under 40. Whatever it is, right? And not realizing it's like the guy, not making light of a person's situation, but it's like the guy that's out there in the alley eating food behind the restaurant out of the dumpster. And he's complaining about the food that he's getting out the dumpster. Oh, this chicken don't taste that good. Oh, man, this stuff all spoiled. Ugh, smell bad. But keep in mind, he's talking about the food in the dumpster. So that says a lot about you if you in the alley eating out the dumpster, then going to try to talk about the stuff in the dumpster. See, this is what we do a lot of times. We try to talk about how bad all those women are, how bad all those men are, right? We try to say all this stuff, but keep in mind, if you in the alley eating out the dumpster, we can't really talk about the stuff in the dumpster because you in the alley eating out the dumpster. So you can't expect to get a gourmet meal in the dumpster. You understand? You can't expect to find all these great people in the dumpster. And if that's where you're eating from, then we have to ask you, if you want to eat better, why don't you go through the front door of the restaurant? See, why don't you go through the front? Why don't you get better so then you don't have to try to get over on something? Because in the dumpster, you're not paying for no food. You get all that stuff for free, right? No pay for you got to keep all your money in your pocket. You get all that old dirty food for nothing, right? But see, if you go through the front door of the restaurant, you're going to have to pay. You're going to have to be presentable, right? You got to pay for that stuff. You got to wait on to get cooked, right? You're going to do all these different things. Well, same thing, you want to get in a healthy relationship. You want to find better people. You need to up the ante and become a healthy person. When you become a healthy person, then you'll find healthy people. And if you don't become a healthy person, then it's going to be hard for you to find healthy people. So I just made the statement that you are either a medicine person or you're a poisonous person. And medicine, the purpose of medicine is to heal you. If you go to the doctor and get some medicine, part of the purpose is to make sure you feel better, right? To help you, with some pain that you have, right? Help you get over some pain that you have. All these different things. That's the purpose of medicine. Now, if you're poison, like I said, it's there to kill. So you need to ask yourself, are you stepping in the lives of people, killing their dreams? Are you killing them emotionally? Are you killing them mentally? Are you doing those things? You're like a poisonous snake. And if someone gave you a poisonous snake and said, hey, cuddle up with that poisonous snake, go to bed with that poisonous snake. Hey, put that poisonous snake in your car. Go, just walk around with that poisonous snake. You know what you would probably say? Whoa, 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 whoa. No, I ain't messing with no poisonous snake. I'm not about that. Because if the poisonous snake bites you, you're going to die, right? Well, if you're a poisonous snake, should anybody cuddle up with you? No. Like you shouldn't cuddle up with poisonous snakes. This is why we in these dysfunctional relationships, because we are toxic people and we attract toxic people. When you get healthy, you will be able to know that that's a toxic person and don't go to bed, so to speak, cuddling up with a poisonous snake. In other words, don't cuddle up with unhealthy people when you're trying to be a healthy person. Focus on being a healthy person so you can cuddle up with healthy people. That means that you can get healed because you got some hurts that you need to get healed from. You got some hurts you need to get healed from your ex-husband, your ex-wife, your ex-boyfriend, your ex-fiance, ex-girlfriend. It's some hurts you got going on that you need to get healed from. And the person that you with probably have a healing in them for you, especially for you, that you can actually carry away with you, even the times when you're not with them. If you don't understand these type of things, then you'll find yourself in a world of trouble. And then you'll think that, why am I in this situation again? Why am I here again? But see, if you don't work on being healthy, again, you're going to be unhealthy. And once you start working on being a healthy person, you put yourself in these situations where you can get healed. See, because being in a healthy relationship is much better than being in an unhealthy relationship. However, being in no relationship is always better than being in an unhealthy one, right? And I think I said this to you last session as well. One time I was sharing with the person, like, hey, I was doing these workshops on relationships, and the lady says, I don't need to come to that because I'm married. She said, I'm married, so I don't need to come to that, because she thought that marriage, she wasn't still in a relationship. I'm married. I'm not in a relationship because I'm married. That's her philosophy, right? And not realizing the title that you stick on the relationship does not exclude it from being a relationship. You are in a relationship, whether you put marriage on it, you put engage on it, you put friends on it, whatever you want to put on it. You are in a relationship regardless. So doesn't it make sense if I'm going to be in a relationship, because I'm probably going to like somebody one day, right? And somebody going to probably like me one day. So doesn't it make sense to be in a healthy relationship, since I'm probably going to be in one? Because after about 18 years old, and some of us before then, the chances of you, after you get out of high school, the chances of you being in a healthy relationship is very likely. Well, being in a relationship, it's very likely. It may be 29 when you first get in one, but maybe 19. It may be 35. But eventually, you are going to be in a relationship. And if that's the case, doesn't it just make sense to be in a healthy one? Doesn't it just make sense to make yourself, or do the things that's necessary to be a healthy person so that you can be in a healthy relationship? Doesn't that just make sense? But since we're not taught that, we may be in sexual ships sometime, right? We may be in, companionship sometime, but very few of us focus on being in healthy relationships all the time. And if you don't focus on being in a healthy relationship all the time, chances are you're going to probably be in unhealthy relationships all the time. So your job is to be focused on being in healthy relationships as often as possible, right? So here's something for you. Let's suppose, because you can only give what you have. If you don't have it, you can't give it. See, if you don't have health in you, you can't give health from you. And if you have hurt in you, you're going to give that away in a generous amount. You're going to give a generous amount of your hurt to the person that you are, or you're going to get a generous amount of your healing to the person that you are. But here's our problem, right? So suppose you've seen this. Here's a story for you. I like telling stories. It gets a nighttime story. Here we go. So it was this guy, right? He went to the grocery store. Now keep that in mind. I just said grocery store, right? So he went to the grocery store, and when he got to the grocery store, he see this little guy stocking up the aisles, stocking up cans and canned goods at the grocery store. So the guy said, "Hey man, I got an event that I need to go to, and I'm looking for a new suit, a shirt and tie, and some shoes." So the guy stocking the groceries like, "Say that again, sir." "Look, I'm trying to find out what aisle are the suits, shirts, ties, and shoes." So the stock boy said, "Sir, we don't we don't have an aisle for suits, ties, shirts and shoes." Oh, so the guy looked, the patron guy looked upset and said, "Man, I don't want to talk to you anymore. You nothing but a stock boy anyway. Send boy your manager. Tired of this. I knew I shouldn't even ask you anything." So the guy took him to his manager and said, "Listen here, Mr. Manager, I talked to your little stock boy over there, and I'm telling him I need a shirt, tie, a suit, and some pair of shoes. And I asked him what aisle is this, where I can find this." So the manager said, "Sir, we don't sell clothing here." The guy said, "Oh man, don't give me that." He said, "You know what? Put me on the phone to your district manager." The guy said, "Okay," put him on the phone. He said, "Listen, the district manager, I talked to I'm talking to the little stock boy, asked the stock boy because I need a suit, tie, shirt, and some pair of shoes. And the little stock boy talking about we don't have them, he don't know where that is. So I had to talk to your manager." So I did the same thing with your manager. He incompetent just like the stock boy. So I say, "Hey man, because you the district manager, what aisle is the suit, tie, shirts, and shoes? Because I got an event to go to." The guy said, "Listen, man, we don't sell that. We sell groceries up in this store. We don't sell clothing in this store." Oh, the guy got fired up, man. He mad. He walked out the store, man, go to his social media account, said, "Don't go to this store anymore. They don't have nothing. They just terrible. They don't have a thing that I needed. I needed a suit, tie, shirt, and some shoes and a nice shirt and tie." The guy, and so he put all this on social media because he's trying to make them look bad, right? Now, here's the thing I want to make. Sometimes we step in life and we try to make people have stuff that they don't have. You gonna love me. I'm gonna make you love me. Watch and see. You gonna respect me. I'm gonna make you respect me. Watch and see. Oh yeah, you gonna be in my corner. Watch and see. And these people looking at you like, we don't have no aisle for that. And you can point and say, "Look, you can put shoes and shirts and ties over there on the side of the wall. You got enough room in this store to do that." But if the person don't want to put the stuff in the store, you can't make them put the stuff in the store. Now, if you walk out of there with something that look like a suit, you might walk out with some canned goods shoes, and you might have on a banana shirt, and you might have on some tomato dress or whatever, right? You're gonna have all this different stuff on, but it won't look good. And if you walk out the store trying to dress up in groceries, somebody gonna say something wrong with you. Something wrong with that person. Well, look at them. Something wrong with them. They walking out here with all this food on them, a steak shirt on and some chicken pans and all this stuff. What's wrong with them? Something wrong with them. Call somebody for them, right? And the thing is, this is what happens to you and I. We kind of step into the lives of other people, and we're going to make them have stuff that they don't want to put in the store. We're going to try to make them have health just because I've been with you 2 years. I'm going to make you have, I had a baby by you. You going to get healthy, man. Right? Look, I had 3 kids by you. Hey, you gonna give me some respect. And they don't have that in them. It's not at the store. They didn't put it in the store. But we're going to make them, and we're going to spend 5, 10, 15 years. And this is why we in all these unhealthy relationships. And we're in unhealthy relationships for 10, 15 years with people. Won't sleep in the same bed. Don't eat at the same table. Don't have nothing in common. We on paper, we cool. We married on paper. But in real life, we ain't healthy at all. And this is what happens to a lot of us because we're in all these unhealthy relationships because it looks good for show, but then we're sore in the inside. We're hurting in the inside. But we look good now when we went to church. See, we went to church and, hey, brother, hey, sister, hey, God bless you, love you. Do all that stuff and get in the car with our significant other and won't even say a word. Won't even speak. Now, how you going to do that? But then get home and then see the little dog and we rub it, hey, moo, 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 play with the little dog and everything, rub on the dog, treat the dog real good, make sure the dog got food, but then we won't cook food for the spouse. We're going to come in there with our one sandwich. I got one sandwich. I could have bought 2, but there's only one of me, right? This type of stuff we do when we're unhealthy. And then we sit in these unhealthy relationships and we are at war with one another. We're the only 2 casualties. So all we do is hurt each other every day of the week because we're unhealthy people. But the moment we start being healthy people, we start bringing more peace in our life. We start getting used to having peace, and then we get turned off by having drama. But when we're unhealthy, drama is our song. Play that song again for me. What's the drama is? I kind of hear that drama. So play it fast. Play it slow because we like drama. And if you like a lot of drama, then it means you're a very unhealthy person, meaning that you are actually poison to yourself and poison to other people. Because here's the thing. Whatever you have, you're going to give a generous amount of what you have, especially to the person that you're in a relationship with. So if you mean, cantankerous, ugly, nasty, rude, and all these different things, you're going to give a generous amount of that to the person you're in a relationship. If you're peaceful, loving, kind, encouraging, helpful, and if that's you, then you're going to give a generous amount of that to the person you're in relationship with because you chose that person you're in relationship with and they chose you. Now, if you don't like the choice, you can't get mad at me because you don't like the choice. You can't get mad at mama, dad, sister, brother because you don't like the choice. But what you can do is choose to be a healthier you so you can choose to be in healthy relationships with another person that want to be a healthy person as well. Woo-wee. I said a whole lot, but my time is almost up. So let me promote this lady one more time before I close it out for those who may have been here to start the show. And if you want to get promoted on the show, your business, product, or service, you can get with me at fullerpurposemedia@gmail.com and we can talk about it, discuss it, see what we can do. So, Ms. Pamela Denise, whether you are a first-time home buyer, an investor, looking to build your portfolio, or you're purchasing your dream home, Pamela Denise at Exception Realty is who you need to call. She has 24 years of experience and a team that is ready, willing, and very capable to assist in all of your real estate needs. You will also get a free consultation by mentioning you heard about Miss Pamela Denise here on A Greater You show here on IntellectualRadio.com and iHeart Station with the host, Dr. Anthony L. Gantt. For more information, contact Miss Pamela Denise at 773-447-8546. That's 773-447-8546. Or info@keepitmoving.us. That's info at KEEP as in Paul, IT as in Tom, MOV as in Victor, ING as in great, .us. info@keepitmoving.us. So you can give her a call or through the email and see what she can do to help you with your real estate needs. And you don't have to wait till you're in a desperate situation. You can contact her if you plan on doing something in a month or 2 or 3 months or 6 months and get the information that you need. So here's to do a recap. And here's something else too. There's a rule called the golden rule, right? Do unto others as you want them to do unto you. And here's something that I learned in my life, right? You need to watch how people do themselves. Because if they do themselves wrong, Don't worry. Hang around with them for a while. They're going to do you wrong next. Right? If they do themselves right, don't worry. Just hang around when they'll do you right next. You got to watch how people treat themselves. Right? You got to because they're going to treat you how they treat themselves. They treat themselves. If they say that, listen, here somebody said, hey, they tell themselves, I'm a dummy. I'm stupid. I ain't no good. I ain't never been nothing. Who you think next with that? You gonna be next. Hey, stupid. Hey, dummy. You ain't never been nothing, right? You gonna be the next one. If they're talking about themselves derogatory and treating themselves bad and unhealthy, you get in relationship with them, you are next on the list. So you have to realize that you have to be a healthy person. So I'll close it out with this story here, right? If I already told one story, two story. Guess I'll finish off with three. So here's go. So if you've seen a guy, or you say, for instance, walking down the street, and he was walking down the street with a knife, cutting himself all on the arm, the chest, the face, the legs. My question to you is, would you decide to walk down the street with him? And most people say, oh, no, 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 no. And the reason why you say no, you say, hey, the dude cutting himself up, he probably gonna cut me too, right? Now, somebody may say, well, maybe I'll try to walk down the street, see what's wrong with him. But the whole time you walking down the street, you got your distance, because you don't know if he gonna cut you on block 1 or cut you on block 50. You have no idea, but you got your eye on him because you see what he's doing to himself. So you know if he's doing that to himself, if you walk with him long enough, he's gonna eventually do it to you. And when he do it to you and cut you up, he gonna still get the thrill of seeing the blood like he gave it himself. He just won't feel the same pain like he did it to himself. So let's change the story around. You see this guy walking down the street putting on these band-aids and ointment and everything because, healing these cuts and all these things he got on him. My question is, would you walk down the street with this guy? And some people say, well, yeah, maybe I will, right? Because apparently this person know how to heal themselves. That's why they got band-aids and ointment and all type of stuff to help heal themselves. Well, here's the point I'm making. If you walk down the street with them, it may be the block. He may say, you know what? This type of band-aid work real good on your hands, but don't work that good on your arm. And these type of bandages with this ointment works good on your back. But if you got a long cut like this, you've been cut like this, you should use this better. Why? Because they've been cut before and they've been here. They have healed themselves because they can only give you what they have. If they only know how to be healed and they know how to get healed from some of the stuff they've been through, they can help you get healed from some of the stuff that you're going through and that you may be going through in the present. So this is why you want to get around healed people. So we talked about a whole lot. How do you have to be a functional person? You have three functions. You're a doctor, you're a nurse, and you're also a patient. And when you know that you're a patient, that means that should help you have patience with the patient that you have and that you're with in the relationship. You also want to realize that, if your relationship is not functioning properly, it's unhealthy. And if it is functioning properly, it's functioning well, or it's functioning healthy. So we talked about a whole lot. A plus F equal health. Apologizing plus forgiving equal health. When you get good at apologizing, you can apologize to people and they don't accept your apology, and that's okay. You still did your part. And you can forgive people that never give you an apology. And that's okay because you did your part. But you want to get good at apologizing and you want to get good at forgiving. That's an indication of how healthy you are as a person. So I said a whole lot. I do appreciate you giving me the opportunity to share with you on how to be in healthy relationships. I really do appreciate it for you taking the time to listen to me. And keep in mind that great people like you have been born great. Working on yourself will help you become a greater you. And I'll see you next time.